right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:59 p.m. Eastern Time, and at 8 p.m. we are going to be rolling the layer for the 7th versus GOL scrim today. So a very exciting match. Good to see the 7th meeting out with some other communities, and thank you for GOL for agreeing to this scrim match. A friendly matchup, but also a competitive one. And ultimately, always a good thing to have different communities coming together to share their enjoyment of the game and test their skills against one another. You can see a lot of good luck, have funs, and best wishes in the all chat as both teams wish each other
Alright, so silence
GGs.
is the
And the layer rolls. It's my understanding that 7th Rangers will be playing first as the VDV and GOL playing first as the Australian Defence Forces. Both units are the air assault units for their respective factions, which will be very interesting, hopefully enjoyable to watch for you all. Let's take a look here at the two factions and their team. So GOL is playing as the Australian Defence Force, 3rd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, which is the air assault unit. Main distinguishing factor for these factions is that they have 3 helos, 30-minute delay tanks, as well as being pretty light on the vehicles. VDV, very similar, 3 Mi-8s. They have a Spret instead of a tank, or rather 2 Sprets with a 20-minute delay. And again, light on the vehicles. All of the 7th Rangers squads have been created, so I'm going to go ahead and create myself a media role.
Am I good taking these 3-man
spawn in and hop into admin cam, and then
3 GOL guys on our
turn on screenshot mode, and that will just make the view a little bit cleaner. Now, we will be listening to the 7th Rangers command comms throughout this. Ooh, what is this going on?
Tell these two get over.
Weird artifact there. Hopefully that doesn't hopefully that doesn't continue popping up. Weird graphical glitch there. Anyways,
Fox, we're gonna
might
go
be just
to
that part of the
Cali. If the points go to Pig Farm or the Fortified, we'll get that. You guys can get barracks.
I'm going logging
that
camp.
way.
Alright, so let's just take a look at the
Whoever the
command
second
map.
person is.
We have Squad 8 Templar.
I don't know. I guess I'm riding with you, Silence. Shoot down stuff.
Yeah, you ready to go
I'm
to the
going
second
to
point? Yep, all good to go and ready.
until I get the gunners open up.
Nobody's in Provo's helicopters. It's just one helicopter leaving with the troops.
Yes, for now.
Alright, so of the 3 helos on the 7th Ranger side, we have 1 pilot by NS Canada with the 7th Squad 9 mounted aboard.
We have a Tiger.
It looks like they will be landing in the vicinity of Sablia in anticipation of the middle cap. Now, we in admin cam can see all of these points on the map already, but remember, both teams cannot see any of these objectives except for their first caps right now. So 7th will be conducting the back cap on logging camp and trying to establish map control for the subsequent points. And GOL will be doing the same with their vehicles and their squads.
Right now, what I think we can do is we can set down forward
Just
here.
taking a look here, I am seeing only 1 helicopter manned on their side, 2 lodges, transport, as well as 4 light vehicles. Oh, excuse me, that's 2 helicopters manned on their side, each with what looks like a 6-man squad aboard. So it looks like they will be a little bit heavier on the initial air assault. So my thought here is we'll be following NS Canada's helicopter during the first rollout just to see how their first pre-positioning goes. And if it collides with the GOL helos, we are 25 seconds until a match goes live. I'm really excited, guys, to see how this scrim is going to play out since this is so helo heavy, right? We don't see a lot of helo heavy organized gameplay, I feel like. Especially not in pubs. So this, I think, is a great opportunity to see how organized teams can leverage those assets.
Let's fucking do this, boys.
All right, we're live, and the rollout is occurring for the 7th Rangers. You can see those BTR MDMs rolling out as the helicopters spin up on their helo pads. And it is Canada leading the flight section on the takeoff with the rifle squad on board. Silence and J Provo following behind. Now it sounds like they will be conducting reconnaissance as their primary mission here. You can see on the map their respective move marks are further on their side.
Basically coming right at me my way. We'll see where he lands.
Yep, Ennis Canada, the pilot of the helicopter you see in your screen there, calling out that gold helo you can see up ahead.
Enemy helicopter is landing. We were gonna put
And that goal helo,
literally right where we're gonna
J-Hooks,
land.
conducting a landing. Goal has beaten 7th to the designated LZ. And now 7th is left to adapt. You can see that door gunner engaging that goal infantry in the field, trying to cause as many casualties as they can. But that goal helo will be able to pull out of there safely while that infantry finds cover and concealment. So, Ennis Canada is headed up, looks like to the north, to find an alternate landing zone.
Abs, go to my move mark.
Let's take a look at this goal infantry, see what they're up to. I wonder if they're dropping any HABs or radios. At the time being, it's probably a little too early to do so. They may be dropping a rally at most. They're just looking to establish map control over this part, over this area.
Hit your move mark 2 to get those infantry out.
I'm seeing J Provo here, hovering low beneath treetop level, conducting fake landings to mislead goal into thinking that there's infantry and a radio here. However, there is goal vehicles. Goal has light vehicles moving up. This could be very dangerous for J Provo. Okay, J Provo does take off. And it looks like that deception measure may have been pretty successful as that Australian squad is pushing in to clear that area. J Provo taking some hits there. His engine is starting to smoke.
7, was that me you were shooting, or is that enemy Vic shooting me? Enemy Vic shooting at you. We got contact.
J Provo unsure if that fire is coming from the enemy or friendlies. But looks like he will be able to make it out of there safely. Alright, let's take a look at the command map, guys, and just get an overlook of the situation. So 7th has completed the back half of logging camp, while Goal has completed the back half of pipeline. 7th has a squad forward deployed. Squad 9 here near Chernikov Bridge. Derevnia is being capped by 7th.
If it goes south, I'm going to need you. If it goes
Squad
west or north,
6.
we got it.
And it looks like Goal is currently moving a logi full of personnel forward to Cap Fortress.
Lost eyes on that PV, I'm trying to reacquire it.
Roger, we're looking for it.
Now it looks like Squad 7 here has a light vehicle. That is the BRDM, manned by Ziggy Alpha and Tex. And they have some enemy infantry to the southeast here, but no contact. I'm going to head down to Angel here. And this is the 7th, the VDV Squad 9 you saw by Chernikov Bridge.
Yeah, Demo's got that point.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. One of my guys ran me fucking over and threw me into the map, so I might have to
7
give
looks
up.
like RWS.
And this squad will just be holding their position in anticipation of the next points.
It's going west. It's going west.
Tickets are already 289 to 261. 7th Command Comms calling that the points are moving
I got
west.
3rd if you guys want to back up.
So you can see here in the middle of the map, there is this big body of water dividing Black Coast into west and east. Right, so the points, which side the points go is a major determining factor for positioning. Now 7th is calling out that they do see the points going west, and you see all these squads here moving to capture Fortified Farm.
RWS is down.
Enemy helicopter on me. Above me.
Enemy helo off my nose. Looks like he's scouting you guys. We're gonna go harass.
Looks like that RWS manned by Ziggy Alpha and Texas Assassins, or rather the BRDM, has been damaged
Squad 1 back to me
with
to get
Australian infantry creeping up on this vehicle. Texas Assassin gets some fast repairs done on the BRDM and tries to extract out of that position. You can see here a full squad of GOL infantry moving up on Fortified Farm. So that looks like it will be the focal point of the first major clash between the two teams. 7th has already set a radio on Fortified Farm. You have the VDV Squad 8
Tracer,
here.
copy. You down by Chernikov?
We're on Fortified.
Or whoever was calling for a helo?
Tracer, I'm gonna drop my supplies at the Logi and then do Logi run.
Oh, more graphical artifacts showing up on the lower side of the screen. My apologies, guys. I do not know what is causing that. I'll try to avoid it as much as possible if possible.
For 5 Chevs, about 70% capped on Fortified.
Now, taking a look here at the map. Chernikov Bridge was being captured by the
possibly a truck,
Australian team, but it looks like 7th Squad 9 as well as the command squad was able to stop that back cap. So GOL's back capture has been stalled. Let's go and teleport there.
I went to the town stop well.
Angel, move you guys to the soccer field. I'm moving north to pick up at Indian 9.
It looks like GOL, the Australian team, has managed to capture Chernikov Bridge despite the presence of these VDV infantry squads here. And now their efforts will be moving on to securing Sablia, conducted by Squad 5 of the Australian team, while the 7th captures Fortified Farm. So the middle cap is Sablia. So GOL will establish control over the mid cap, leaving the 7th Rangers with only the 3rd cap. That will give the Australian team a 30-ticket advantage to start.
We're harassing them.
Tracer, I'm using more build. I got more on the way.
4, what is that you're marking?
Helo, drop the squad. No radio.
Looks like the VDV infantry back here, backing off a little bit as a helicopter has rolled in to pick up the command squad. So strategic redeployment being executed here. You can see the Australian infantry further back near the bridge. And that infantry is just making a short hop across that body of water to land that infantry right on this shoreline. A 3-man element quickly dismounting and moving into the tree line. A rally being dropped by Slate, maybe a little bit close to the road to be burnt incidentally by passing vehicles, but better to have it down than not down at all.
Enemy infantry moving up on Foxtrot 634 on my.
You can see here the Habs coming up for the Australian team as Squad 7 lead puts down a radio and a Hab here. And here we have the Australian HAB, which has been established for the defense of Sablia. And it stands to reason that the Australian team will be settling in for the defense here, while the 7th Rangers organizes themselves for...
Infantry by pig farm.
While the 7th Rangers The 7th Rangers, meanwhile, will be organizing themselves for a coordinated team-wide push to take that mid-cap point.
Pig farm is accurate.
You have Jay Provo conducting resupply flights for the 7th Rangers radio for the defensive fortified farm. The Rangers, the 7th has opted for an on-cap fob with the radio and HAB on the capture point, and they're spreading out. Not quite maybe to the east, but in a defense in depth will be critical to making this setup work. Whereas GOL has opted for off-cap HAB and radio. They're separating the radio and the HAB by as much distance as possible, and the HAB itself is off of the point. It'd be very good if you manage to keep the radio and HAB location concealed, but once it's discovered, it will force them to divide their efforts to defend 3 different locations.
We have a fire team, Foxtrot 727.
Logic market E487
Seeing
is
a
accurate.
lot of
We're gonna
build
check for HAB.
supplies being placed by the 7th Rangers. Ops towers. You can see a 2-mortar section here being manned by Joker and Mega Knight.
We got
Right
a
in front of
PMB
the
on
HAB.
gas station, same grid location.
Fortified farm, obviously having a lot of pre-placed defenses, is now being further
Is
fortified.
fortified good for a helicopter?
Should be. One just
A
came in the
repair
left.
station by the road to help repair and resupply any vehicles that may need it.
I believe that was Provo that came in. and
Now let's
landed.
take a
Should
look
be
at
good
the
candidate.
Australian team's defense setup on
I got
Sablia.
eyes on 2 PMBs, Foxtrot 875, both on the bridge.
So we already kind of looked at their HAB, but the point itself is looking pretty empty. GOL not taking probably not seeing it as
Okay, so I got
necessary
satellite going
to really
out to the
fortify this
west.
point.
West and south.
But you can take a look here
We got the crops
the
to our east, so it's pretty much
south side, southeast side of Sablia. You have the 7th Rangers Command Squad rolling in for a
One
southeastern flank.
PMV was push 89.
Possible follow up there. Just worry about what
Squad
your area.
leaders and Commander Slate taking the lead, taking his
PMV coming down the
time
railroad
to
tracks
watch
right
the
next to you.
objective before pushing in. Now this
So let
squad
us know
will
when you need us
probably
to
be
soften up
looking
the
to
point.
infiltrate as far in as possible, but not really committing to a full attack until the
Enemy
rest of the
heli
team
landing,
can move up to
approximate 5
support them.
move.
And you can see the helos conducting constant reconnaissance flights overhead.
30 seconds.
They're
late.
just trying to get eyes on each other's ground forces, composition and disposition, making those callouts, being able to see any movements before they occur or fully land. Now, I am hearing some firefights over here down south by the GOL radio. Let's take a look at. Let's go down and take a look at that.
We had Tracer guys coming in from the west side.
996. District
Psych.
Guard.
Thomas the
Echo
Train
839.
taken down.
112-ish.
Katzmer prone. You can see that Australian infantry moving left to
099.
right, and one prone next to him.
Copy, I'll
Katzmer
bring
does
the
not
pilot
seem
in
to
a
see
second.
him.
Fire, he
They're
got
getting
me.
engaged. The game Teehee
You
getting
can't
shot.
099, there's
You
you.
are-
All 3 volleys are out, so you can push in. We're going to switch this.
All
He's
right.
prone.
Both Australian players splitting off. Katzmer catches.
twice.
Waffle Lover. K Drake. Will he be able to get the
Yep.
spot?
Bravo, like one back
099
Bravo
to
is
my
2.
position.
Bloodham getting popped by Moist Fusion over on the right side of the screen, leaving just K Drake, it looks like.
Infantry by pig farm has been wiped out.
Behind me, I think.
Cats, can you pick me up?
Nope, being shot close behind.
Katzmer able to take out that flanking Australian infantryman. I'm not Joel.
Don't know if I killed him. We hit him. Gotta fall back or
But
something.
he's unsure if he got the kill or not, so he falls back. Oh, but here's another Australian. It looks like Pouch comes up. Oh, Jouch rather comes up behind him, takes down Katzmer. More infantry coming up behind this squad. It is just now
Are we
Most
gonna just
Fusion
be
left
rolling
alone.
with one fob here, or do you want more?
Need to set up a backup if we can. Be smart about it.
Yeah, Moist Fusion is caught in a dilemma. He wants to stay hidden, but he also needs to engage these infantrymen. He misses his shot there, and misses more shots. That is very bad for him. Although he has tagged him, he's now revealed his location without getting any kills. And this infantry over to his right side, right in front of the screen, knows his location. Oh, and Moist Fusion goes down to a grenade.
They just
They missed everything. They hit our mortars. That's the only thing they have is still perfect.
In the meantime, it looks like the 7th Rangers have found the Australian radio, and they are currently working on digging it down. Oh wait, there is an Australian on the radio digging it down.
Hey, we got
Oh my. Okay, so all the 7th Rangers that were on the radio have been taken out, and the Australians are currently digging down their own radio to replace it because it has been compromised.
to include 2 PMVs.
But you still have 2 7th Rangers here, 2 VDV riflemen, Codex and Kratos,
Coming up.
very patiently crawling up. Codex getting compromised, getting ran up on. They're left with little choice but to quickly move into action now. Scorched Cock runs up, takes out Codex, but Kratos is able to get the refrag.
Get in from there.
It is just him and him alone now, trying to deal with this radio.
Hey, there's a 80% chance of the next point's on the east side of the river. Are we gonna go to turn
And Kratos also gets taken out by the GOL infantryman.
Grenades at me.
Do you still hear the radio?
We leapfrogging. My guys.
And Codex confirming whether that radio is still there. The Australian team obviously has digging that radio down, so a missed opportunity for the 7th Rangers.
RWS on F724
We're going to go
gas
back
station
to
main
the
road.
map here just to take a look. It looks like Fortified Farm has a couple of defense squads here. They're not being pushed, but they have a couple of mortars providing fire support to the attacking squads. We currently have the command squad led by Slate pushing into the point. So let's take a look at that action over there.
No, I got shot from across the field.
Yeah, but you're in the house, right?
Yes, in the house.
Looks like the Russians have managed to gain a foothold on this building, but as you can see from the bullet holes in the wall, they are being engaged by an enemy machine gun somewhere across the field. Let's see if we can get a spot on him.
Hey, gun up door, gun up door, gun up door.
Yep, it's up. Keep.
Oh, never mind.
I'm not able to see him.
Hey,
9,
keep
small,
moving.
look, we need a hot drop 9 right on us. If we can, hot drop 9 right on the 3 diamond.
All right, so the commander
Roger
calling a hot
there's an
drop
enemy vehicle
for
marked
squad
right there.
9 right on top of him.
Are you sure
That will be a very risky
Jungle ran
move.
one off, the one to the west is moving south. You got a window, short window.
All right, so it looks like Ennis Canada's helicopter in Maine has loaded up
I need you.
some infantrymen, and Slate is calling for a hot drop here right in this clearing, it looks like, but there is a lot of Australian infantry, making this a very dangerous move to make. Slate obviously thinking that there's a window. In the meantime, you can see on the map, north of Fortified Farm, we have a Australian infantry element looking to sneak up on this point from the north side. Let's take a look. Apologies for the artifacts here. Some weird red graphical glitches coming up. Must be an artifact of admin cam. I will make sure to disconnect and restart my computer before the next round starts. Now, this squad does not have any means to place down a radio and a hab, so they will be fighting off a rally. It looks like they're sneaking around, and they're about to come face to face with some Russian defenders in the tree line up ahead. Clover taking contact, takes out Big Red on the defense, and now the Russians are very aware that they are currently being attacked from this angle. In the meantime, back on the midpoint, Sablia, the 7th Rangers attack has been wiped out.
Oh, fuck me. They are in the tree line to the north side.
Clover trying to load up an HE rocket, but gets tapped and taken out by that attacking infantry. So the Australians putting pressure on the Russian defense point, being of course very good to lock down defenders who are thus made unavailable for an attack. Looking up at the top right corner of the screen, you can see the tickets are 281 to 284, very even despite the mid-cap advantage that the Australian team had. So it looks like the engagements have been favoring the 7th Rangers in a very, very minor way. Probably not going to be super decisive unless this trend continues.
Exited their main. It's accurate on F10.
You can see I'm Not Joel inside this house, right next to some Russian infantry. Bot Ken running up behind Pancake Man.
On me, behind you, southeast.
Oh, there's nothing but a bush that separates, and a fence that separates them. Will they? Okay, Pancake looks like he was aware of Bot Ken's presence. There's no way he didn't hear him. But neither seems pretty interested in fighting the other. Jungle Snot crawling through the grass here.
Putting that radio down.
You have Jouch nearby. Oh, Jungle Snot needs to be careful that his legs don't clip through the walls. Oops, some supporting machine gun fire coming down from the Australian PMV into the house. He's shooting the wrong location though. Pancake Man engaging more Australian infantry. He decides to reposition here. Oh, and a Russian infantryman, Australian infantryman goes down. Pancake Man takes out I'm Not Joel from inside that house. And then he finds a safe corner to reload. You can see Fish pushing up on that house, knowing that Pancake Man is inside there.
They're pushing the doorway.
And Fuzzball calling out that they are being pushed, but looks like he gets taken out from outside by 5th, F-I-T-H. And that Russian attack has been wiped out. Tickets are now 276 to 280. Alright, so let's look at Fortified Farm and how that Australian attack is going for them. Looks like they were able to make progress. They have... This is either the same element or a new element coming in from a new angle. Okay, so the first engagement that we saw earlier here is still ongoing. Both sides with casualties. The Russians able to revive theirs here. You can see Clover, who we saw get hit, currently being revived by Justin Oaktree. Dark Sniper here, taking cover behind a tree as he gets tagged.
Right now.
The Australian infantry unable to move, unable to advance as they are currently in covered positions. Looks like it's just Chad Guevara who is up, with the rest of his teammates there currently down. In the meantime, we have a fire team size element of Russians over here on the southwest side of the point. A lone Australian named Panic at the Disco, being very stealthy and sneaky, prone in the forest. He seems to have eyes on Army of Fools. Army of Fools, in turn, not looking in the right direction.
Is there an infantry guy that can jump in?
Panic at the Disco decides to engage, misses his shot, so Army of Fools will live, takes cover behind a tree. Meanwhile, on the right side of the screen, you can see Mossberg moving in to engage. Does he have eyes on him? Yes, he does. Nope, not quite, maybe. Army of Fools laying down suppressive fire while Mossberg scans left to right the tree line to look for Panic at the Disco. Oh, Mossberg seems to have acquired his target. Nope. He continues to scan, does not get sight of him.
Alright, they're digging down a radio on Gulf 7 already, so we gotta defend that and figure out a different place.
Let's go over to Mossberg's position and see what kind of a sightline he has.
If we can get them, dig it down, and we'll put one down here on the shore.
He could conceivably see Panic at the Disco.
I don't want to give up a bunch of fucking
radios. He thinks he sees him now.
They're
He does get eyes on, engages, and is able to get the kill on Panic at the Disco. Very close fight there as Panic at the Disco started firing back, but he was not able to hit Mossberg at
I
all.
recommend dig down Gulf 7.
Working on it.
So both teams focusing on the defense here. Fortified Farm obviously not in danger of falling at any point, and the Russian attack on Sablia has not been able to make any ground, especially as they are primarily fighting from rallies. Oh, but it looks like the Australian radio is currently in danger. Let's go check out that action over there.
Fox, Schmeep has a guy right in front of him.
Alright, we're gonna go for... We're gonna go for train, Delta 7.
I need field Justin right here, but
And working.
Unfortunately, we arrived a little too late to see what happened to that radio, whether it was dug down or destroyed. But judging from the tickets, which are currently 264 to 270, I would venture to guess that the Australian team was able to dig down that radio. Otherwise, they would have lost 20 tickets. The 7th Rangers now in a 10-ticket deficit. Excuse me, 7-8 ticket deficit. So the game is still very close here.
I know, I'm waiting for you guys to tell us what you need them for. We're ready.
And over on the south, the Australian team immediately placing down a new radio. So GOL doing a very good job of being very mobile, adaptable, and flexible with their defense radios. Despite having an off-cap fob, they're being very quick to dig them down and replace them in different parts of the map when they're discovered.
If you feel you need that for the defense, I don't know if
so if 7th Rangers is going to conduct a sustainable and successful attack on Sablia, they will need to somehow grab a hold of one of these Australian radios and hold it hostage while the attack is conducted on the point. Back on the southwest side of Fortified Farm, it looks like this fire team has mostly cleaned up this forest, and there are no enemies that they have to contend with.
Secured the area down south, I'm going to roll it in.
And similarly here to the northwest side of the point, on the map, I'm seeing just a lone Australian infantryman who is left,
Scorpion, make sure
a medic by the name of Hamster, prone in the grass by the road.
They should have just gotten up.
Now Clover looks to be roughly looking in his direction.
Roger.
Ooh, but someone was able to get the spot on him and get a headshot, dropping Hamster in a single shot. I think that was Clover, or rather, that was probably JC, now that I think about it. You can see JC with a pretty dominating position over there up on the hilltop. And that will clean up the last of the Australian attackers on Fortified Farm. We are taking a look here at the Russian mortars currently supporting the 7th Rangers attack on Sablia. The ticket gap has grown for the 7th Rangers with 253 to 265, 12 ticket deficit. Obviously, something that could change at a moment's notice, but that increasing trend could be a good thing for GOL.
I'd be willing to bet it's that white shack on 1 diamond.
You can see here, let's follow the helicopters, see what they're up to.
Copy, 1 diamond.
Right now I'm seeing Silence piloting a Russian Mi-8 with Sweepo available as door gunner. Flying over the battlefield, conducting reconnaissance, trying to make as many good callouts for their team as possible. Probably also spotting for those mortars, making sure they are on target. Oh, but looks like a shot went out there that managed to hit Silence's helicopter.
Eyes to see if GA-12 is actual hab. We'll start hitting with mortars.
And it's Magnolia, one of the Australian UH-60s flying nearby. I don't think he's looking to harass him, though.
I just can't fucking use it. I have no hab.
Two PMVs to the southwest of Sabli.
You can hear the Russian pilot calling out 2 Australian PMVs southwest of Sablia. In the meantime, you can see the Australian Squad 9 pushing out to that shoreline where we saw the Russian commander make landfall at the very beginning. So they're conducting a very good active defense, making sure that no radio or hab was established in this area. In the meantime, looking at grid square E8, let's hop over there.
We got ears on enemy tank southeast of my location.
So it looks like the... Oh, back, looks like the Russian team has established a radio and are now looking to build a hab here for attacking Sablia. In the meantime, they have ears on the Australian tank, that M1A1 Abrams being called out. Now, as the tanks enter the picture, this match will evolve as both teams will have the pushing power of the armor available to them. Now, the VDV team has 2 Spruts instead of 1 tank, and they will need to work together.
Alright, enemy tank is stationary, 4 observed.
So the Russian team is now aware of the Australian tank's current position. And here we have eyes on the VDV Spruts running together as a wolf pack. Coordination between these 2 vehicles will be extremely important if they're going to establish armor dominance. Those Spruts, obviously, despite having a pretty powerful main cannon, are very light armored.
Got fire team element down on 5 move.
Negative. They're enemy here, though.
J Provo coming in, conducting additional logistics flights, resupplying that radio, making sure it is topped off with ammunition and builds. And you can see the BTR MDM doing the same, conducting constant logi runs throughout the duration of the match.
If you get another hit in that tank, I'll head down towards it and finish it.
Oh, in the meantime, it looks like the Russian infantry is currently engaging the Australian Abrams. The Australian Abrams, it looks like, has been tracked. It is now immobilized and thus not able to run anywhere. It is vulnerable
I don't know if you have a shot on that.
to a hit. A lat hit coming out, keeping that tank tracked. You can see one of the Abrams crewmen hopping out to conduct a repair, while you have a 3rd crewman in that commander's RWS maintaining suppressive fire against the infantry. Kratos, that hat gunner, coming out, getting another hit on that Abrams.
Ammo crate. In the back right here.
You can see that fire.
If you keep that tank turret to the south, we'll come up from the north.
However, that Australian crewman that is on the outside conducting those repairs,
One reflex on tank.
desperately trying to save the tank as that Russian infantry continues to pour AT shots in. Kratos looks like he's rearmed. He's coming out for another shot. Gets another lat in, and the tank blows up. That Abrams is down, and you can see, oh, the PMVs come in trying to help their tank, but it was too late, and you can see further down that road, it looks like the VDV Spruts had popped out to try and get shots on that tank. Texas Assassin and Logan currently getting swarmed by Australian infantry as they are on fire. They're trailing a smoke screen behind them as they're trying to desperately escape this situation, but no, they're unable to get out in time. Texas Assassin succumbing to the flames, and the Sprut itself blowing up as they're unable to extinguish that fire. However, trading an Abrams for a Sprut, I would say, is a point in the Russian team's favor. Tickets are currently 233 to 244. So, if anything, it was a well-needed break for the Russian team to try and get even and positive with the ticket count. We have the second Sprut here, sitting in this field, standing for Australian infantry.
Currently, get inside.
PMV.
That 125mm cannon firing HE shells at this infantry, currently prone inside a death blade. Oh, and it looks like we have artillery dropping down. That is Australian artillery currently being dropped on fortified farm, and that VDV infantry is going to scramble for cover.
9, I'm about to hit that hab to your south, the 4 mark. I'm gonna put Artie all the way into Sabley off that.
Raj.
And it looks like the Australians have opted to use a static barrage on point. Static barrage does not seem terribly concentrated. I'm not sure if this was a preparatory bombardment for a coordinated push. I'm not seeing any Australian infantry in position to conduct an offensive, except maybe Squad 5, but a single squad push is going to be tough to execute. And that artillery barrage did very little damage. You can see the mortars are still up, the hab is still up, and the radio obviously is safe. That Sprut's commander's RWS engaging its Mongolia in the Australian helicopter. You can see small smoke trails trailing him, but he doesn't seem to have taken major damage. Now I wonder... Oh, let's take a look at the map here, guys. Look at this. The Russian team is dropping a creeping barrage on Sablia, currently going to progress from the southwest to the northeast. They have a radio and a hab, but it looks like it has been compromised, and you can see Amsel here digging down that hab, making sure they don't lose those tickets as that hab is disabled. Squad 9 is pushing up. And Squad 9 will be following on the heels of that creeping barrage to try and get a foothold into Sablia. In the meantime, you can see the command squad looking to conduct an offensive from the north side of Sablia.
And going to Sablia.
Squad 4, Silence and Sweepo in that helicopter, and the MI8 conducting constant reconnaissance flights. You can see them above us, feeding that information to the attack team. Now, if I seem to be favoring the 7th Rangers with my commentary, that is wholly unintentional. They're just who I know the most and how they play, and I'm trying to deliver as engaging as commentary as for you guys as possible. GOL, I love you guys. I'm trying to give you a fair share of the coverage. So let's take a look at the GOL defense here. They've got a lot of infantry set up here. That creeping barrage, absolutely devastating, drops in through the point here. You have some individual infantry in 1s and 2s scattered throughout this tree line, so they will be able to call out any major push before it is able to get close to Sablia. You have Mesuchi prone in this ditch.
They're fucking good though. They had
and he pops out, catches sight, drops back down, gets spotted. He is engaged. Codex looks at Masucci, engages him. Looks like Katzmer was able to get him down. This infantry is going to be on the move, following behind that artillery. Now, that artillery itself obviously doesn't seem to have quite done the amount of casualties that you would want it to. It has now telegraphed the attack that the Russian infantry will be conducting. However, this attack is a two-pronged attack.
Yeah.
Look, we have what looks like a pincer maneuver with the command squad coming in from the north.
Out, or are we currently smoking out enemy hab position?
Yep. We're gonna smoke out to the point so you guys can have a clear position in.
Roger. Thank you.
Hey,
Just making sure I keep tabs on the rest of the map here as the fortified farm defense point looks fine. We have a 3-man Australian element looking to find and destroy this backed up hab and radio here placed by the Russian team.
Bring him over fortified.
We can try
In the
to shoot him
meantime,
down.
we have Squad 9 making rapid progress on the southwest side of the point.
I just got shot at by a tow missile. I'm trying to locate the smoke right now.
Ocho Cinco leading the charge for the northern pincer of the attack. You have Bloodhand here. Seems to have caught inside of him. Peeking out through that window. Ocho, better be careful there, man. Oh, he takes a shot, but the shot misses. He crouches, not able to take cover in time. But it looks like Frosty and Pancake were able to catch sight of that fire. Immediately suppresses him. You can see Pancake Man moving for an immediate revive on Ocho Cinco. Frosty looking to advance on this house to try and get some kills here. Runs into K-Drake immediately. Frosty going prone, does not get hit. He's now waiting for K-Drake to reveal himself.
Sounds like they're putting the helo directly on the point here.
Frosty does not see K-Drake. And Frosty climbs back up to his feet, runs back, and moves for flank. Very lucky there as K-Drake missed his shots on Frosty. K-Drake moves on, trying to get inside this house.
Howard, heli just took off going southbound.
I'm going to stick with Frosty here. I hate it when casters jump around. Okay, all right. Frosty's moving to reposition here. It looks like Pancake got pushed up on.
East side of the river.
Russian infantry throwing grenades. We can see I'm Not Joel here has taken a position behind this building. Jungle Snot dropping Bot Ken inside of this structure. Bot Ken looks like he was a little bit isolated.
Absolutely. Elements northeast, Foxtrot 549. That was accurate.
Yep,
I'm Not Joel.
Have my guys redirected towards it.
Hey, move into Sablaya. We're taking it. If you can get in the cap zone.
In the meantime, you can see Squad 9 has managed to get into the capture zone of Sablia from the southwest side. Mortars coming in. Kratos gets down by one of the mortars. Codex taking cover.
Earth Canada, we'll get ready.
Meanwhile, you have Russian infantry swarming around. Katzmer. Oh, posted up around the corner. Takes out Scorched Crook.
Anticipate turn to cover for the next point if we're taking it.
Here we have Moist Fusion clearing the second story of this house. He gets dropped. Second floor not clear, he calls out, as we have 2 Australian infantrymen on the second floor. They're watching the stairs. Meanwhile, Katzmer bandaging on the first floor.
How many squads are you taking in?
None.
Behind the stairs.
Break off a fire team.
Katzmer is alone in this house, and he looks like he's tempted to conduct a push in here.
Got you.
Oh, Katzmer runs headlong into an Australian hat, drops him. He's going to peek that surface now. Oh, but he gets hit and taken out.
Down here.
Me heavy kilo.
Going back to the northern push, I can see Slimer, Frosty, and Duck all taken out here as the Australian infantry is occupying this house. We have Ocho Cinco and Robzilla moving up. Ocho Cinco drops down. Major pain. What? Major pain. Major pain. I get it.
Send it.
Keeping tabs on the defense point here. Fortified farm. Nothing is happening over there. All of the action is currently in Sablia, but the Russian attack is losing steam now as the casualties pile up. 7th Rangers is going to have to send on follow-on forces if they want to maintain this momentum. They had a great opportunity to begin taking the point. Ooh, a Australian machine gun engaging Baradan and Codex. Looks like from the western side, or eastern side rather. A withering storm of fire coming over Baradan's head as he lays prone. That seems to be Waffle Lover laying down that machine gun fire there. Codex? From the PMV.
I don't know.
Open top PMV.
I'm gonna get there. They're looking. I don't know if I can get
I should be able to.
So Codex and Baradan trying to solve this problem here. We have the VDV BRDM currently on the point, assisting. It looks like it has been engined though, and Texas Assassin killed outside of the vehicle trying to conduct a revive. It is just Voxlin inside that turret, providing as much fire support as it can. Russian mortars coming in, laying down a smoke screen on point as that northern attack from the Russian team has not yet been destroyed. They're continuing to push, but the southwestern penetration that happened initially has been wiped out, and now it's just a sea of red Australians on Sablia. The VDV will have to readjust their attack here as new battle lines have been drawn, and it looks like the GOL Australians have stabilized this situation for now. Sablia is not being captured by the 7th Rangers Russians. However, they still do have this attack radio up. Will they be placing a new, closer attack cab to push Sablia? So while the Australian attention is currently being pulled to the north here, it looks like the main thrust of the attack is being set up to come again once again from the southwest. I'm seeing a mixed squad, a mixed element of hodgepodge units. One fire team from what in the 7th we call Dagger Squad and Katzmer. One member from what we call Cerberus Squad, moving up on Sablia from the southwest. Taking it nice and slow.
Go across the road and head straight to this green house. We have a lot of cover right here.
Main heli's down.
Oh yeah, just saw one running.
Good fucking shot.
Just to your right.
Yeah.
This VDV element taking care to carefully plan their approach. However, there is a flanking Australian MG that engages them.
147, yeah. Got her.
Nobody seems to quite know where that fire is coming from.
I don't have
They don't know if it's the PMV shooting at them. It's not the PMV. It's 2 infantry standing next to the PMV. That grenadier laying down HE fire. Army of Fools moving in to try and bandage and heal Dark Sniper as he gets tagged by that HE frag. Let's go back to the leading elements of this push. Mossberg pushing up alone. He's creeping through this trench here.
HE or smoke on point.
The mortar's asking if the commander needs HE or smoke on the point. And it looks like the northern attack here by the Russian team has run out of steam as the Australians push up and wipe them out. Jungle Snout, the last survivor there, getting taken out by Jouch. Nope, Slimerk is still up from this squad. Oh, but Slimer taken out by the Australians. Oh, no, Slimerk is still up. I'm doing a very great job of commentary. Slimerk engaging with his pistol at close range, taking out Anmad. But Squid comes running up those stairs and sprays down Slimerk with fully automatic fire.
Good shot. Secondary heli down.
More smokes dropping in. Mossberg currently alone right now, having made a deep penetration into the Australian lines. Looks like he has taken out Matt Muzi. Oh, an Australian frag grenade comes in. Mossberg sees it at the last second, runs away. He gets tagged. And you have Maple pushing up in his face. Mossberg bandaging. Maple not pushing aggressively. He's running up now on Mossberg. Mossberg not looking in the right way. He gets gunned down by Maple. We have Kratos running across the street here trying to deal with this Australian infantry by the PMV. Kratos and Voxlin calling out that this building is clear, but there is still one Australian outside. Damon.
Yep.
He peeks through that window.
5, get you guys on the cap. Everybody to the Sablia cap.
Voxlin coming out the door just as Damon rounds that corner. Guns down Voxlin.
Oh fuck, Kratos.
2 Australians still outside in the vicinity of this house. And they're now able to get shots on this infantry moving up north. Lots of smoke here as they're trying to push up into Sablia, but it looks like they're caught inside a kill box. This flanking defensive position by the Australians really causing a lot of pain for the Russians.
There's a fire keep pushing in a 5 to 10 mount.
You have Kratos and Codex running up here. Nobody able to see this infantry hiding underneath the PMV.
Yeah, I got the Grenadier.
Kratos guns down Damon. Oh, look at this. K-Drake conducting a revive right underneath Codex's nose. Codex, do you not hear this? Do you not hear the bandages being ripped? K-Drake and Redhead getting up. Oh, nope. Codex does not see him. There is a whole fence between them.
He glitched in. He's between the vehicle.
The last dude was
Some close range fire being traded between the two. Codex gets hit by flanking fire, but Kratos is able to take down Codex.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Codex up here.
Redhead is still up though.
What the fuck? Yeah, they're coming from the east.
And you
now,
can
too,
see
Vox.
here, it looks like Destroyer of Will, the guy that took out Codex, also takes out Kratos, as neither of them were aware that there was another Australian further back behind the house.
Shift mortars HE 3 Diamond. They're coming from that direction.
And zooming in here, you can see a small cluster of blue. No matter how many people are inside that cluster, they are not spread out enough to be an effective fighting unit, and most of them are dead bodies.
Good fucking guess, wasn't it?
What happened here?
Don't worry about it. Just get everybody up.
And the 7th Rangers, we have a saying, dead bodies attract more dead bodies, and that proves to be true in this attack being conducted by the Russians. Now, let's take a quick look at Fortified Farm. Very quiet and peaceful. Let's take a look at them. So the Mortarmen, just about the only guys who have anything to do here, as the rest of the players here, Rainman, Tracer manning the toe. King, Snake, Ace of Spades. This is Templar Squad and the 7th Rangers with a very good spread, making sure that they don't get attacked from any direction. Having a pretty quiet game at this stage. And one fire team, a Dagger Squad, JC the Lime, Just an Oak Tree, Clover, holding this southwestern forest, making sure no enemy habs or radios are placed there. Looking at the tickets though, it is 187 to 174 in the 7th Rangers' favor, so it looks like while being on the attack, they were able to trade pretty favorably. You can see Silence and Sweepo Depot in the MI8 strafing Sablia with that door gun. And a static artillery barrage being dropped on Sablia. Not sure by which team at this point. Everything is so clustered together that you just couldn't tell, but it would not surprise me if this was an Australian bombardment conducted to try and wipe out any attackers approaching from the southwest. It looks like this cluster of bodies here was unable to be fully revived. But in the neighboring house, we have Schmeep. And just a floor below him is a fire team size element of Australians conducting revives. Schmeep in survival mode. Oh, takes out Major Payne, who runs unknowingly headlong into his gun.
Hey, don't run straight
Solomon
from the
Kane
to the point.
looks like he's prepping a grenade. Oh, but he's able to gun down him before he throws the grenade, and that grenade drops.
Their Abrams should be up now.
Or rather, he was able to throw it, it looks like. Where are the keys? Immediately popping upstairs to drag back Solomon Kane, while Schmeep has fallen back one compartment. Jouch throws another grenade. And he pushes right after that grenade detonates, pre-firing that corner. Schmeep waiting for him on the next room. Jouch gets taken. Oh no, and the two trade. Jouch, not knowing if he traded or not, has his teammates come up, and they verify that Schmeep is down. 7th Rangers launching a fresh respawn wave to attack Sablia, and their ticket advantage has burned away, with the tickets being 170 to 174. And it looks like what was once a very dynamic offensive is now slowly settling down into a slow grind. You can see a handful of Australians holding this tree line, with very static positions being held by all infantrymen. Oh, Kratos getting tapped in the head by Kobat Thor. Kobat Thor.
If you can do another run that has some build on it, we'll just kill this hab and replace it. The radio's so good.
Duck is able to get eyes on some Australian
I'll put
infantry.
600 build in.
Misses his shots, advances, but gets tapped in the head.
Probably low on tickets.
Dark Sniper moving up alone. Tickets are very even right now, 170 to 173. It cannot be called anybody's game.
That fourth point's only 10 tickets. So initial cap.
Is it only 10 tickets for an initial cap?
Not that much of a difference.
Initial flag capture is 20 tickets, so it is not 30, it is not 10, it is 20 tickets.
Yes, sir.
My mistake, guys.
That's correct.
They've lost 2 helicopters. We haven't lost any at this point.
And the Australian team being called out as having lost 2 helicopters, action that we missed. A withering storm of fire being exchanged. Army of Fools goes down to Pseudonym, or Hamster. I can't tell, man.
I got one right on top of me.
Mossberg calling out. He has footsteps on top of him. That Australian gets engaging Codex, taking out Codex. Dark Sniper running up. Trades with Squid.
Bro, they're everywhere.
Angel.
Say again.
And it looks like the bulk of this infantry push is currently down. However, here on the eastern side, we still have Fuzzball, Frosty, and Duck, who seems to have found a way through the Australian defense, making their way north across the train tracks, but Fuzzball taking shots from his east. He goes prone in the street, does not know that Scorched Crook is right next to him on the other side of this fence.
I'm gonna drop more on
Fuzzball loading up an HE RPG, but Scorched Crook is able to get a peek at him through the gaps in the fence and kills him.
Left the main.
We have Duck here prone, still on the south side of those train tracks. Frosty and Jungle getting engaged by Australians on the hill. Frosty, unfortunately, getting shot. Jungle, freshly revived, gets hit by a Australian machine gunner on the rooftop, who in turn gets killed by Duck, sitting on the railroad. Funny how that works, guys. It's like a baton that gets passed from one person to the next. And Duck gets engaged.
Maybe Logi just got taken out.
And taken out. Pseudonym pushing up to clear out this area, verifying that all of the Russian infantry is down. He sees Frosty and Jungle down, and he will be reviving the ultimate egoist.
Coming out their main.
And it looks like, guys, despite a furious fight, the Russian attack has largely been defeated. Ocho Cinco, last man left on Sablia.
He's crossing Chinnikov Bridge.
Deciding that while he's still here, he's gonna do as much possible to be a nuisance. But that first requires him to stay alive and undetected. So he's playing very patiently, crawling through the grass, with his face in the dirt. Doing his best impression of a snake.
Oh, damn, I thought I had him.
I am hearing an armor engagement. I did hear some armor shots ringing out.
He's going back west. He's getting off the
I
bridge.
would love to capture that action for you, but I cannot even find it on the map. Oh, yeah, here we go. Logan. Okay, it looks like the Sprut and the Abrams exchanged some shots, but neither side was willing to stick it out till the end. Weird graphical glitches coming in again, unfortunately. Ooh, that is really bad, guys.
The point with HE, just to try to soften them.
Oh no. Guys, what do we do about this? It seems like I can't look in certain angles. Texas Assassin and Logan's bringing their Sprut to Maine to conduct repairs after that engagement with the Abrams.
Find out where their mortars are.
Jesus.
Tank is on Sablia south.
Call out coming in on the Russian command comms that the Australian Abrams is currently located on Sablia, south of the point.
Yeah, I'll have him check.
It looks like Katzmer, the game T, he and Moist are near the point, doing their best to do what they can.
How did he fucking full auto me when I was suppressing him? He's in this doorway on Bravo.
Yeah, tank is running this Sableye.
Peak Squid, who was already prepared to shoot Katzmer, which is how he was able to full auto him while
If you can track that tank,
Katzmer was trying to suppress him. It's now just the game Teehee inside of this barn here gets taken out by the Abrams HE shell. Moist Fusion looks like he got killed as well by the Australian infantry. Ooh, Ocho Cinco. Did he die? Yep, sadly enough, it looks like Ocho Cinco also found his demise here on Sableye.
One of the helis, main helis out of main.
Alright, so it looks like the entirety of the Australian team is now sitting on defense on Sableye. In the meantime, Russians are looking to see if they can organize a renewed offensive. We have a squad here, Squad 3, moving in from the north once again. Let's go follow them for some action.
Rocks, if they don't see that, try going westbound. We think they're potentially in the open fields to the west. Heard.
Frosty, catching sight of Australians inside that barn, fires a few shots and decides to reposition to his left side. Robzilla.
Rob, fuck ton of infantry in that building you're pushing up on.
Veering into this barn, catches sight of Frost, drops him.
Work here.
They're they're pushing on the west side of it.
He rounds that corner. Oh, Russians crossing the street in front of him. Robzilla does get sight of him.
See if it pans out.
But there's an Australian close to his left side, shooting him, not catching sight of him until the last second. Robzilla is able to get a drop on him, but Squid gets the refag by killing Robzilla.
Hold on, let me read this map over.
Now, with the Australian Abrams available on Sableye to help with the defense, it will be much harder for the 7th Rangers to make any sort of an attack. Oh, and an airstrike coming in right where the Abrams used to be, but the Abrams was able to vacate that area and is not hit by that airstrike. That was pretty close. If the Australian Abrams had sat there for just a few seconds longer, it could have been hit by the airstrike, and that would have been a major pain for the Australian team. Tickets 149 to 161. About a 13 ticket deficit for the 7th Rangers. It's still pretty close here. This match has been pretty neck and neck so far.
Hey, is Gulf 6 free to get supplies from helicopter from the northeast?
Silence continuing with the persistent recon flights overhead, with Suko and the door gun assisting with spotting and firing that door gun whenever necessary.
We have 2 tank marks. Which one's accurate?
4. He's directly on Sableye.
And it looks like we reached a bit of an impasse here. We have the northern attack from this squad trickling in ones and twos, which obviously is not going to see much success, as a single man is not going to be able to overpower this concentration of Australian infantry we have occupying this tree line.
If they can get an approximate, we'll start mortaring, but they're direct on. They have spotters all around Fortify.
Alright, I'm seeing what they see here. Give me a sec.
Frosty playing it safe here. Prone. Pancake Man is down. Further to the south, we have Slate crossing the street.
Lost eyes on him. Never mind.
Oh, but he gets taken out.
Yeah, he's still
I
directly
feel like
on
my
7th.
camera being nearby any 7th Ranger is like a harbinger of bad luck. Because every time I look at one of them, they just die. That's why I'm going to follow Frosty now. Frosty staying low, making use of this very, very slight deflate here. Move crouched, unspotted. Peeks over that ridge, goes prone. Ooh, is he going to be able to catch sight of pseudonym here? There's pseudonym and squid. No, Frosty looks like he's below that ridge line, maybe looking at his map, talking to people. He's gonna, oh, no, he does not see pseudonym.
Hey, was the exclusion from Maine, was that... Is that
300 meters.
So it's just the grid square away?
Yeah, just check the build radius.
Yeah, I went ahead. That's fine.
I think that radius is 400 meters, not 300 meters.
It is. It's extra conservative, which is fine. It's 450.
Oh, Frosty rotating back to try and help Fuzzball and Cinco, but he got chased down by Squid and is gunned down,
yet.
surprised to his left side. Now it's just going to be Robzilla prone here on the north side, and he's going to be falling back as it looks like he's getting engaged by grenade launcher fire.
They've got no helicopters up right now.
The Australian team currently has no helicopters up right now.
Are we abandoning the attack?
I'm shifting to a more of a extremely active defense with a revisit on the attack.
I don't think we
Is
should
that tank
totally
going north?
abandon an attack. We gotta keep them thinking about it.
We're just resetting. I can't get in from the angle we're on.
All right.
Their entire fucking team is there.
So you can see,
Sounds good.
you can hear over the
My
command
helicopter
comms,
is
the
working
Russian
the
team
attack,
is
so
currently
if you need to
contemplating their
follow
next
the
course of
attack,
action.
Talk to me.
They're deciding that they need to come up off the attack for the time being, but it's not going to be a full settling at the defense. They're just resetting. The commander squad calling out that the northern avenue of approach very difficult to push at the moment.
Like we've abandoned and started turtling.
Slimer
Hoping they
with
do
a
classic
sniper
Super
kill.
Bowl
Let's go take a look
Friday
at that.
and start lessening and try to take fortified.
Still nothing on those mortars. They keep hitting us off every time we shoot.
So in the absence of much more action here, let's just follow this sniper here and see what he's able to accomplish as he moves down south along this coast to try and get behind the enemy. Now he is unaware that there's an Australian squad here directly to his south. He may be able to catch sight of him, but they're so close that if he opens fire, he may end up just getting overwhelmed by a flood of
What are
Australians.
the odds that those mortars
You see
are on the
Robzilla
eastern
following
side?
close behind. Now the Australians are... Oh, looks like Slimer catches sight of the Australians.
Doing
Oh,
my
yes.
runs on the green arrow, and I didn't see anyone or get anything shot
Tells
at.
Robzilla to get
There
down.
and in here.
As Slimer sees those two
Just
Australians
outside their main.
moving right to left along the screen.
Mortars stopped, but every time we hit a volley, they hit
Now
us
the
back.
big danger here seems to be Destroyer of Will up on that ridge. If he sees either of them, oh nope, he turns around and starts moving. So it looks like that Australian infantry is
139
moving
tickets.
back
Start
down
thinking
south.
about it.
Angel 5 moved, they had the Logi go
The
in
Russian
there and then
ticket
leave.
deficit has grown worse at 139 to 154. That is a 15 ticket deficit. We are now entering the realm
Just crawl through.
of that ticket difference meaning something. Slimer taking it slow. I'm going to take a look at the map here, making sure nothing else is much is going on. We have Squad 8 here. Looks like conducting an offense on the backup hab and radio for the Russian team. Let's go take a look at that action.
tank. I've kept it marked accurate. He's still it.
We have Strikers and Vertex playing this ridge on this wheat field. Nasty Nate currently down. Yeah, 5th, lying prone on that rock. Not looking in the right direction to get a spot on Vertex.
Hey Tracer, you got defense here
But,
on 45.
Vertex might have gotten the spot on him.
To 6 mark, and we can defend the other hab in case they try to do a
Launches
flank.
a GL, but that grenade
you're
is
good, you're
long.
good. We got it.
Might have been better to engage with the rifle.
Yeah, Abs, get
But
a far
5th
satellite to the west.
looks
to the
around
east.
towards the explosion. He did not hear that grenade launcher shot, apparently. And Vertex moving up on the upper story of this house to try and get a better firing position on 5th. But those trees are masking him. But 5th gets engaged from a different angle, it looks like.
I think we're still on attack. They have a UAV above their.
And you can see here Frost getting engaged by Vertex from that window. Haunch might have gotten engaged too. Haunch bandaging and then getting engaged. Vertex making good use of that GL to try and hit targets in the death blade. Poncho vacating that area just in time as those GLs impact the dirt behind him as he runs down to the south across this wheat field. Vertex might have a beat on Ponch though. Oh, and Ponch is able to get shot in the back by Vertex. Very unfortunate. Maybe running out into the middle of the open field was not the best choice, or at least going prone might have been better here. Hearing some shots over on Fortified Farm, but no red marks. The Russian team dropping a static barrage of artillery right where that Australian squad used to be. Just making sure that they have their backup hab and radio defended. Oh, Strikers is a little bit close to that bombardment. He's going to have to fall back north to make sure he doesn't get hit by friendly fire.
Yeah, they're in super turtle mode right now.
Yes, the Australians are definitely in super turtle mode right now as their entire team is currently on Sablia for the defense. And the Russian team reviving their attack here on the south side of the point.
The problem with tank is it's screened by fucking infantry by like half their
Tickets are
goddamn team.
136 to 146, only a 10 ticket differential.
Okay. Maybe grab one of the lodges.
I have a feeling that if the Russian team is able to replicate the earlier offensive they took, but move those follow-on forces a little bit earlier, even if they don't take Sablia, I feel like they may be able to gain a favorable exchange ratio to tip those ticket scales in their favor.
I'll drive you down the Logi. I'll go down the far west side. Meet you.
And here's something interesting, guys. Right here, south of Sablia, is where that Australian defense radio is. The hab is up north. Now, of course, we have the Squad 3 lead Kermit and the medic Waffle Lover. Coming in is Solomon Kane Lat near that radio, standing by to immediately dig it down if it comes under threat. But imagine if that radio were dug down a layer and held hostage so that no new defense radios could be placed. I mean, the Australians could still place a new radio to the north here without any issue. This is a tough problem to solve, guys. The best I think the Russians could hope for is get the radio kill here and get that ticket advantage. 7th, racking their minds for a solution to this problem that they face in front of them right now.
We just took a shot at a fucking lodge or something. Or a
Of course, a big part of the problem here is not knowing what the ticket comparison is right now. And this game, currently at 133 to 136, is so close, guys. So close. Honestly, 7th, if they wanted to, could just turtle on the third point.
He's crossing the railroad tracks right now.
Going to Angel to
He's
get
turning
a follow-up.
onto the. He's turning onto the
Baradan
railroad.
acting as lead scout for his
He's
squad,
engined and tracked.
crossing the road into this tree line here. Does he
Oh,
catch
light
sight
him
of
up,
Evening
Hex,
running
light
left
him
to
up.
right? Yes, he does.
They're hard out there. There's a ton of them east,
But
northeast.
Baradan starts taking return fire from Panic at the Disco. Evening going prone in the wheat field. Neither side able to get a kill
Popping
here.
smoke. But he's tracked there still.
3 minutes, I got a rocket
Let you know
strike
how
in
your
3
shots
minutes.
are landing if you just want to send up.
Keep hitting the tank with mortars as well.
Yep, they're inbound.
Meanwhile, it looks like the Russian team has locked in on the Abrams. And they have mortar fire coming down on the Australian tank. Oh, and they get a mortar. They get a tank kill with the mortars. The call coming in from the helicopter that the tank is dead. Those mortars were deadly accurate from the 7th Rangers here. That helo, again, circling overhead, providing constant reconnaissance and intelligence to the Russian team.
Angel on the way.
Being able to accomplish a mortar kill on a tank is probably one of the best feats of teamwork you can accomplish
We're gonna keep hitting the
in this
point, but
game.
if we have a more concise
I
fight,
don't
we
want
can hit
to jerk off the 7th too much. But first, you need to immobilize the tank so that you can actually hit it with mortars. You need to start calling in those mortars and get them on
7-11, What do
target.
you guys got over there? Gulf 7.
I got R.
We have Frosty here, engaging a whole squad of Australian infantry by himself right now. Looks like he was able to get some shots on, but he decides that disengaging and falling back is the best decision, which I agree with.
He's gonna be at the southeast.
Back over here with Baradan, the showdown continues. Evening continuing to push down this wheat field. Prone,
Hey, you gotta give me a second. I hit mines.
doing his best impression of a snake, as I said earlier, takes out Baradan, so now it's Codex and the game Teehee. I hear a machine gun up here. Oh, and it looks like we have the BRDM overwatching this field. Manned by Ocho Cinco and Duck. Ocho Cinco catches sight of Haymaker, misses his shots though.
I got eyes on the hab.
Grab what you need, Ben.
I don't think you're marked.
Thank you.
Mark. Yeah, we can do it there. We can do it there.
Ocho Cinco not quite looking in the correct direction. Oh, looks like he catches sight of Australian infantry. Takes down Hamster.
I killed both of them.
Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Frisco it was.
There's
And
more to the north.
Hamster
You're being shot from.
taken out to the east.
Dude, I can't see shit.
I got eyes on the hab in the open.
Now that BRDM, of course, not having stabilization, it needs to hold stationary in order to be able to engage
Fucking
accurately.
everywhere.
We can hit it with Artie as well.
Try to go engage a hab.
Ocho Cinco and that turret scanning with his optics, trying to get as many kills as possible. Oh, and that BRDM gets hit by a lat. It is currently on fire.
Bail.
Jesus.
That was close here, northwest.
I'm gonna die from this explosion.
Alright, I know one helo is going to help out
Yeah, you're good. You
Squad
got almost
7.
full health.
4 is.
But it looks like both crewmen are able to vacate that vehicle. It is still on fire. If they had decided to go for the repair, I feel like they could have done so, but it is out in the open, so saving themselves is probably the best choice there. But with that Abrams kill, guys, the tickets have flopped in favor of the 7th Rangers. It is 120 to 108. That BRDM, of course, lessening that lead. I'm seeing silence here. Looks like he's been downed. Currently being engaged by the... What is he being engaged by?
Tank is dead 100%. Watch the turn.
Well, I don't know what it was that brought him down initially, but currently mortars are falling on top of him to try and hit that helicopter. They're slightly off target, but it's only a matter of time before the Australian team manages to walk them onto target. Both crewmates, Silence and Sweeper, are dead, and we have Squid with the lat able to finish off that helicopter. And that brings the tickets right back to even, 106 to 107.
Alright, one last push, and then we're gonna fucking fall back, I guess.
You can hear Russian command comm saying that they're going to try one more attack, and then they're going to settle into the defense.
You this time.
Oh, I'm seeing a very concentrated mortar barrage here, right on top of Hamster. Oh, and that is the Australian HAB, guys. So it looks like the Russian team has managed to locate the Australian HAB. They are bombarding it with mortars, which has taken the top off that HAB. So that HAB is no longer spawnable, at least until the Australians manage to dig it back up. And at the same time, here comes a creeping barrage from the Russian team. So with no defense HAB, the Australians will be forced to rely on their rallies to sustain their defense. However, on the map, looks like the Russian team is in position for an attack from the north. However, we have Australian infantry ranging in, oh no, Squad 5 in the same force as Voxland with a logistics BTR MDM.
We are heading out now.
Voxland's gonna have to be very careful. Now, as much as I'd love to follow this action here, we're gonna go back up north to the main thrust of the offensive coming in from the Russians. I'd say this is the second or third major attack to take place on Sablia, and we will be following the leading edge of the action right from the start this time, with Vertex leading the charge for the 7th Rangers VDV. Looking at the closest defenders, you can see Thomas the Train sitting right up on the roof here. Gives them great sight lines, great fields of fire, but also skylines them, exposes them to being spotted early. Now he does reveal his position, firing a grenade launcher at Slate, the Russian commander there. Not getting the kill, Slate runs for cover before conducting a bandage.
There's enemy infantry here.
Looks like Thomas get eyes on strikers crossing that wheat field. Again, not able to get the kill, but Vertex is right underneath him in this house. Here's that grenade launcher fire, so he will be moving in behind him to try and pick up that kill. Oh, but Thomas hears the footsteps and is able to take down Vertex as he pushes up towards that rooftop. And here comes Pancake Man, and right behind him is Jungle Snot as Thomas's position has been locked in. So this Russian infantry will be looking to try and get him. Pancake Man immediately moving. Ooh. So a Russian grenade launcher smoking off that rooftop, breaking Thomas's lines of sight. Thomas can hear footsteps outside. Oh, Slimer getting GL'd, as he seems to have not gotten the memo that there is an enemy on this rooftop. Pancake Man and Jungle Snot coming up. So that smoke masking their advance as they push up onto the roof. Jungle Snot vaults up. He's now on top of the shingles with Thomas.
Slate, if we can take this, I can drive this Logi into the point.
Oh no!
I got him.
Thomas the Train had his GL equipped. Completely helpless as Jungle Snot runs up to his face and takes his time to get that kill. And this advance will be able to continue on. Thomas, good positioning and good defense there. But once the enemy knew where he was, it was only a matter of time.
We're going to continue to HE on there in south.
And the Russian mortars calling out over command comms that they will be continuing HE on the Australian HAB. Let's take a look if it's still there.
Send him straight in.
So I'm not seeing anything. It looks like to me that the Australians have successfully managed to take down that HAB, and they will probably be looking to place down a new one. Oh no, that is, I can't tell, guys. Is that HAB still there? I don't think it is. Best commentator, am I right? Alright. A flood of blue Russian infantry coming in.
I think they're gonna counter you from the north.
Strikers pushing up on this house with It's Dizzy.
Both down.
But the Australian occupants are already down.
Yep.
Where's him at?
Coming from the north.
Here we have T-Dub pushing up to try and attack those attackers. Oh, we have a plethora of Russian infantry inside this house. He runs up, takes out Slimer. Ooh. And it looks like he was able to take out Lutz, but Pancake Man, the medic, standing in that line prone in that corner, was able to take him out. So he'll be taking a beat here, making sure that there are no more follow-on forces before he moves for the revive. But it looks like we have more Australians pushing up just outside the house. Haymaker, he'll be moving up on that doorway. Pancake Man easily takes him out. Even more Australians now running up on that doorway. Pancake Man can hear all of their footsteps. You'll have to be wary of grenades. The ultimate egoist.
If I can get one guy back to me,
a very quick GL kick. GL kick from the ultimate egoist to take out Pancake Man. That was probably just outside the minimum arming range of the 40mm there. Honestly, pretty good solution. I don't hate it. We have the Russian Sprut moving in with the attack force, being very cautious, not at the leading edge of the attack. Tickets are still very close at 98 to 100.
I need one of those mortars to shift.
3-6 mark.
Whatever happened with Voxelin, guys? We saw him alone in a lobby.
Foxtrot 899.
And
they're here waiting. Fuck me, dude.
We
struggle that thing or sit in the vehicle.
And we just saw the outcome of that.
I'm gonna try to scuttle it.
So it looks like Voxelin was able to survive long enough to place down a radio with that BTR MDM, but he got walked up on by infantry. Amzel, however, luckily was on hand to help him take out that infantry, and Amzel will be able to dig down that radio to ensure those tickets are not lost.
Not doing anything.
And I'm seeing a big mosh pit of red and blue as Australians and Russians slaughter each other in close quarters combat. Cool guy just above Duck, who is currently in this dugout, holding position, making sure he stays alive.
6 mark right next to you.
That mortar bombardment makes it very difficult for him to move around. We have a 3-man element, Fuzzball, It's Dizzy, and Slate inside this house. Meanwhile, this barn over here, where we saw Pancake Man earlier, is getting absolutely hammered by mortars. I cannot tell whose at this point. Now, here the tickets look even, but one thing to consider is that you do have a lot of Russians who are currently downed. So the reality is that the ticket count is going to be more in the Australians' favor than that first appears, because if this attack fails, all of those casualties will be forced to give up, losing their team 1 ticket each.
Royal News Radio South, they just waited for me to place it down before shooting.
And it looks like that southern radio.
We needed an attack fob.
Did we not sub 100? No, not sub 100 tickets.
We weren't sub 100 at the time.
And unfortunately for the Russian team, it looks like this radio was pushed by more Australian infantry, and it has been put on bleed. Absolutely devastating for the Russians, as although the tickets have been even, losing this radio is going to be the lethal blow that secures the win for the Australians, is my take.
Seven, is that accurate? 7, is that accurate, Hap?
They're flowing out of there, so it's a rally or a half.
Radio, yeah, that radio.
And we have a final holdout here of Russians inside this house.
Got one. Fuck.
I can never move around comfortably inside buildings with the camera.
Coming to you, I'm bleeding. I'm gonna save my single bandage.
Alright, copy. I need someone to watch the stairs.
Gotta keep watching, keep watching. I gotta reload, and then I'll watch.
Fuzzball on bleed. Gets his medic, It's Dizzy, to bandage him.
Did they
saving his last remaining bandage for a more dire emergency. Alright, and it looks like that southern radio from the 7th has finally been destroyed. That is a 20-ticket loss, guys, meaning the tickets are now 66 to 86. If it weren't for that one radio, it'd be even, but that radio is proving to be the decisive element in this match.
To be used as needed, but with 65 tickets.
So the Rangers, 7th Rangers, left with another difficult position to make, whether to continue with the attack or to settle for the defense. It sounded like they were intending to settle down for the defense. But are they going to move through with that original plan? They seem to be getting aggressive here, pushing into Sablia from the north once again.
We gotta be watching our tickets now. Probably that medics have to earn their fucking paycheck right now.
Call coming over command comms that tickets are the most valuable commodity for the 7th Rangers at this moment. Medics will have to earn their pay, and nobody is allowed to give up unless they bleed out. So this strong point that is being held by Slate, Fuzzball, and Dizzy is now being assaulted by Australians. And it is also proving to be a strong anchor point that the attackers coming in from the north can make use of.
Hey, do we know what
Grenades being thrown down those stairs by the defenders on the upper floor.
We have 15 minutes to come back up.
In the meantime, we have Matt and Moosey projecting fire through those windows into the interior, trying to suppress those defenders while the assault team moves in. Vascavar trying to revive Hamster so that he can have a buddy to push up those stairs with him.
Get into the buddy if you're around. We're taking it.
Rockets flying back and forth. Looks like Matt Moosey and KJ were both able to be taken out by the defenders. Fuzzball fighting his heart out. Frost is left here inside, not inside, behind this tent. Clover is just outside this doorway now.
Alright, copy. There he is. Frosty.
Clover spots Frost and engages him. Does not secure the kill.
Based off of where I've seen their
It is now
line,
Hamster up here.
resupplying, the radio has to be in that building I just marked.
Go patch Slate.
Slate watching that staircase. Looks like he was able to get the kill on Vascavar, who tried pushing up those stairs. The medic gets dizzy, making sure to patch up Slate while Slate keeps his gun up. Vascavar getting revived, but immediately killed into dead Slate. Oh, but Slate gets hit in the head by Hamster, who sprays while peeking through that doorway, and is now It's Dizzy left alone to hold that staircase. Stress and intensity running high as this match nears its conclusion. Fuzzball watching that staircase as It's Dizzy drags Slate back for the revive. Hamster holding on the first floor.
Everybody's got to close.
Taking it very cautious. He peeks up that staircase, does not see anybody. Oh, and he looks to clear the rest of the first floor. I don't know where he got engaged from, though. It looks like there was neighboring infantry. Yeah, it looks like it was Vertex behind this dirt mound that was able to shoot him through the window.
Thank you.
And tickets are now 59 to 68. The Rangers are already closing the gap right now. What was a 20-ticket gap is now reduced to 10. If they can keep this up, they may be able to bring this back, guys.
Keep it up, boys. Keep it up.
4 chefs up.
In the meantime, the point is currently being captured by the 7th Rangers. Sabia is being captured by the Russian team. GOL, the Australians, are losing it. So now, with a 4 chevron capture on the objective, the 7th Rangers will have to hold and stay alive to maintain that 4 chevron cap.
Contacts are coming from the south-southeast.
Smoke everywhere right now as both sides are scrambling, fighting tooth and nail. The capture has been reduced to 2 chevrons, but the 7th Rangers are still capturing it. GOL counterattacking as fast as possible to get some kills and reduce that cap, get more bodies on point.
Armor southeast, send it.
Tickets are now 59 to 55 as GOL is desperately trying to throw more bodies to prevent the capture of Sabia. Probably the correct decision, as if they lose that if they lose that point, it is game over for them, almost guaranteed. But the 7th Rangers have regained the ticket lead, so even if they don't quite manage the cap, if they keep up this momentum, the cap has been stalled. The Sprut is up here now, supporting the infantry very close. GOL now retaking the cap. The Sprut engaging infantry, absolute death, has gotten hit. He is low. That squad leader doing his best to contribute to the fight.
Buildings, can we get danger close?
Here we are back in this strong point. The strong point that has been the anchor for the Russian team. Still holding strong as ever.
Those mortars get inside. We're gonna hit that.
Neighboring building over here with Duck, Slimerk, Frosty, and Sweepo.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Is being pushed by more Australian infantry. Those Australians on the first floor with the defenders on the second. Looks like Haymaker will be pushing up those stairs, but Duck,
danger close mortars
completely unaware.
Danger close southeast.
Oh no. Duck gets gunned down. Slimer getting shot in the back too, as he was unable to react fast enough. A failure of security. Army comes in behind Haymaker, however, and is able to finish him off. Hopefully.
Not on the point, get on the
Tickets are now 59 to 49 with a 10 ticket balance in favor of the 7th Rangers. GOL throwing everything they have. It looks like the cap on Sabia is going in neither direction. It is neutralized, but the 7th Rangers are currently about a third captured. Holy smokes, guys, this game is coming down to the wire. The game Teehee and Beardan pushing up on this house. You can see smoke grenades coming out from the other side of the road. It's just on the other side. We have Australian infantry. I'm Not Joel goes down. The screen is shaking so much I can't read these names, guys. APOC trying to bandage as those Russian mortars come in. Danger close on friendly positions, but extremely well positioned to take out that Australian infantry. It's a withering fire here. T-Dub is able to take out Cold, it looks like, who moves up to try and revive some of his bodies on the outside of this building. However, Absolute Death is waiting for him in the exact same spot that Pancake was in before. Holding that doorway, is able to take out T-Dub.
Push on you specifically, yeah.
Tickets are 55 to 45. Those mortar... Okay, let's take a step back. I need to take a breather, guys. Let's get out of that mortar bombardment, because I can't hear myself talk. Those mortars impacting right next to the camera. I'm seeing so many bodies, so many nameplates. A Dark Sniper is taken out by a grenade inside that building.
Move everybody to Shabba now.
Sabia looks like it's about to be captured by the 7th Rangers.
Do you want helicopters to move?
Yep.
Those mortars absolutely lethal right now as they're dropping right on top of those Australian positions. Those Australians obviously having to come up from the south.
They're flipping it back.
However, Sabia is now being recaptured by the Australians just as it was on the cusp of being captured by the 7th Rangers.
I'm overshooting.
Ticket count is currently 50 to 43.
Wait till you guys take the point.
It is a very close game. It now comes down to morale. If one side gets defeated mentally, they will start giving up and completely give up the ticket advantage here. If both sides can stay disciplined, both sides still have a shot here, but as the tickets for the Australian team drops to 38, so it is now 49 to 38. The Rangers with the 10 ticket lead. The cap has again been stalled right now as both sides taking heavy casualties on the point. It looks like the Rangers are occupying the western side with the Australians occupying the eastern side, but those Russian mortars coming in right on top of their positions.
I got already ammo, send it.
The commander has artillery. He is sending it. It will be arriving in 30 seconds. It will be hitting the west side of the point. Commander calls out that he
infantry
wants his
inside the
guys to
church
break
on 6 mark.
contact and get inside cover.
45 tickets.
You can hear those spotting rounds from the artillery coming in. Mossberg and Rob Zillis scrambling to get inside of this house. Screaming friendly coming in so that he does not get gunned down by his friendlies. Tickets are 46 to 26. The ticket gap has increased as the Rangers are now with the 20 ticket lead. Scorched Crook, a fresh wave of Russian infantry. It looks like they're getting revived now. Taking a look at the map, I do not see an artillery bombardment. Not sure where it's coming in from. That may have been an Australian. I'm not sure what that artillery call out from the Russian commander was, guys. But those mortars, completely persistent. Australians trying to push in to clear this house. It looks like Scorched Crook got gunned down by Ocho Cinco as he ran in through that doorway alone.
Southwest side.
HE being exchanged. We have so many bodies, guys, as players who have been downed refuse to give up, tenaciously holding on for the win. Tickets are 44 to 22, very close. We have a fresh wave of respawns coming in from the north side as JC, the Lime, Pancake Man, and Vertex come in from the north. Texas Assassin and Logan's B are rolling in with their spread to provide close support to the infantry. That armor support could be very critical, but it could also be very bad, putting that asset at risk, as if it goes down, that is, I believe, 10 tickets that would be lost with that vehicle. Right now, it's a 24 ticket gap, so it will not completely flip the game.
Keep rolling in.
But it could develop momentum that the Australians and GOL needs to turn this back around.
We got directed back by mortars. They're already in us.
Got a house here getting pushed. Sweepo holding a doorway, not able to see his enemies through the smoke as Ultimate Egoist pushes into him. Who's the defender here? Duck. Oh! Gets taken out by a grenade somehow as Ultimate Egoist also goes down to the same grenade. Not sure what happened there. And it looks like the Australians are able to take and clear this house, and they will be moving on to this neighboring strong point. The absolute anchor of the Russian team, Army of Fools, on that rooftop engaging. We have an RPG going out from Fuzzball into that house. Kobathor going down to that HE rocket. Cap is now, not Cap. Russian artillery coming down on the south side of the objective. Tickets are 39 to 14. The capture was momentarily going in favor of the Australians, but is now stalled. Both sides will need to maintain their body cam inside the capture zone to make sure that it does not go to the other team.
Heavy push south side.
Heavy push south side getting called out by the Russian team.
Away from the Artie.
2 helicopters back at main, shut down.
And it looks like all of the Australians that are currently in play are all on the point. There are no more reinforcements coming as they are unable to give up and respawn to throw more bodies at the point. They are down to 11 tickets. The Russian team in the meantime is down to 39 tickets. They are currently holding their positions, holding strong, maintaining their positions. Australians in this neighboring house also doing the same, doing their best to stay alive. They are clustered up as they conduct revives here, trying to get outside of the lethal target zone of that Grenadier hitting that room.
I know, I'm going in.
You can see Solomon Kane pulling security as Chad Guevara conducts revives and heals. Up on that staircase, so it looks like they suspect that there are Russians on the second floor here, and that they're concerned that they're able to push in. And that is GG, guys. 38 to 0. The Russian team, VDV 7th Rangers, takes the win there. But guys, I'm just going to say this, for a long time, it looked like GOL was going to take the win. That was insanely close. Guys, that was fucking insane.